guys, welcome to my channel. This is Sandy from aregaldecor. I'm coming to you with a centerpiece, a floral centerpiece design that I was making for a Mother's Day brunch event to go on the tables of the event. Now the Mother's Day event will not take place because the country is currently on a shutdown due to the coronavirus, but I might decide to go ahead and make this anyways. Some event is gonna come, the country's gonna be back to normal, and I will find somewhere to use this. If not Mother's Day, another event. So let me just go ahead and move this one out of the way and show you exactly how I made it happen. Okay, first you're gonna need a nipping tool, wire cutter. You'll also need a floral foam. I chose this one. I bought it from Walmart. At Walmart, I also picked up a bunch. I picked up actually one patos, I think it's called. I'm going to be using this as a filler to fill in some greenery that I would need for the centerpiece. I also picked up this bunch of peony mix. The peony mix was about $6.88 at Walmart, and I believe the pothos was $5, if I'm not mistaken. The floral foam also cost me about $1, a little over $1. Now, the first thing I did after gathering all of my supplies was to actually cut the flowers to size. I used the wire nipper and nip the wire. I left about 2.5 inches on them because I didn't quite know exactly how long I would need it, and because you can't add to, you can only take away from. I started cutting them a little bit longer just to ensure that I had enough wire to work with. Also, if you notice, I am pushing up the greenery that's on the stem. I'm not cutting it off. I'm not leaving it out. Take another look. I'm pushing it up, then I am cutting. Once I have everything cut, I also cut the pothos you see lying there. I actually was a leftover from the first one I purchased when I did the first floral arrangement. One will make at least two, so I just bought that second one you saw me with earlier as just a backup to show you guys what it looks like. I didn't use that second piece, so I still have it. Now what I'm doing here now is I'm actually grouping together like flower individual pieces. So these two you see I placed down there, the two that had the long extended greenery, I grouped together the light pink with the light pink, the dark pink with the dark pink. I also grouped together the hydrangea with the hydrangea. You'll see me do that in a minute. I don't know why I was like sizing them up at first. I think I was just trying to gather my thoughts before construction. After everything was grouped, I then started placing the pieces in the floral foam. I started with the light pink where I just inserted a little bit on an angle in the foam. I cut the wires in case it was too long. If I made it a little too long, I cut it a little too long the first time. I just cut them to size. I repositioned the flowers where I wanted them. As you can see, I was just kind of freestyling and doing it off the top of my head. So I had to shuffle a few things around 1 or 2 times. Now what you'll notice is that every time I place a piece, I try to look at it from a top view just to make sure everything is even and rounded, that there's nothing, hanging off too wide. Everything is just perfectly rounded on the piece. The hydrangeas, I kept them together because they were smaller pieces and because the other flowers and the peonies were a little more fluffier. I decided to just group the peonies together to make it look almost as one. In nature, they tend to like to be grouped together anyways. So I just try to follow rule of nature and keep the the hydrangeas close to each other. Next, I inserted the item with the long extended stem. But if you notice, take a look. I'm going to show you here where that was a little too long and it was like a disconnect with the entire arrangement. So what I did was I looked it over and see how I can make any adjustments, and I realized that I can actually push up a few of the greenery a little closer to the flower, and by doing so I needed to also nip the stem. And you're going to take a look and see when I do insert it into the floral foam, it goes in and fits in with the design a little bit better. A lot better, actually. Take a look. Oops, wait, let me put this piece in first. I realized that I actually hadn't finished putting some of the other flowers in it yet. I was kind of jumping the gun there. All right, and there I go again, looking at the piece, making sure everything is rounded. And now I'm ready for you. Take a look. I insert it. And it went in perfect. Shape is perfect. I located the other side right across, and I put the other piece directly across. At least I think it's directly across. There we go. And I'm looking at it to make sure that everything is still rounded and it's going with the shape that I'm looking for. I went and got a glass because I needed it to be propped up a little bit off the table so that it would I have better leverage when inserting the greenery. Now looking at the piece, I need to work my way down a little bit more. This piece will be sitting up quite high, so you don't want any of that floral foam to show if someone were to look up. See? You can still see it right now, so I just have to make sure that that gets covered. What I'm going to do here is take any leftover flower or peony that I have and just insert it into some areas that are a little bit naked. Here we go. That flat needs something. All right. I have another white one here. I'm going to insert. It's still following that shape that I'm looking for. That one might be a little too long, so let's go ahead and nip a little bit of it. Now, what you can also do with this is you can also use some hot glue gun if you want this to be more permanent. I didn't really care to hot glue gun it at this time. If it's giving me problems or if I feel like it's going to fall off, I might decide to just go ahead and take them out one at a time and hot glue them right in the area. But I don't really see the need for it at this time. I tried not to insert in the same hole if I removed a piece. Most of the time, sometimes I had to insert it back in the same hole, but I tried not to. Now I'm moving on. Nope, actually I'm not. I'm actually still working on the greenery that came with the peony. This particular greenery, what I did was I put it purposely next to the piece that had the long stem. Reason being is that this piece I realized did not go in as flush like the other ones. It also had a little hang. So it did look better being grouped closer to the two wings, I'm gonna call it. That thing right there, the wing. It looked better right near it because it didn't go in as flush as the peonies and as the flowers did. So it just made a little bit more sense. I'll show you again. Oh, it also lost a stem, so I had to reconstruct it. That's what you see me doing here, putting it back together. Okay, so I kept that one close by that. Now I'm going to locate the other one and just stick it somewhere close by. It had that little fern thing on the end that sticked out, and it just looked perfect right there. It wouldn't look nice anywhere else. I actually learned that tip when I made the first one. Now off to the pothos. The pothos, like I said, I'm going to use them now as my filler. I'm going to fill down below and cover up any more foam that is remaining and that can possibly show. I had a difficult time with the pothos at first. It just was not working well for me. I actually had to, and I didn't show it here, but I actually had to, and this is one, I actually had to take a regular wire from the peonies and stick a regular wire in there. The stem that the pothos came with is actually quite thick, and it was just not working with the floral foam. It was too thick. It was making big holes in it, so I switched out, not all of them, but I switched out quite a few by just pulling off the pothos off of its original stem and replacing it on a wire stem from the peony plant. See, it kept falling off. So I also kind of needed it to be a little bit higher, more at eye level, and I need to stand up instead of sit down. So you'll see in a few minutes where I actually paused the video and I placed it back on the candelabra. This is just so that I can have it at eye level. Oops, there it goes again. It fell off. Okay, here we go. I place it on the candelabra so I can have it at eye level, and I can work a little bit better and see what I was doing as far as covering up the floral foam. Voila. Much easier. I'm just sticking them in and looking and fluffing and covering over the spots, using my eyes, bringing the pieces down and filling them in with the pothos. This actually took me about, I want to say 20 minutes to make, between cutting all the pieces and constructing it. It didn't take me long at all to make. I made 2 so far, and I have 1 more peony and a pothos where I can make a 3rd piece. I don't know how many tables the event will have, so I just wanted to make just a few. And typically my events I do anywhere between 6 to 8 on average. I haven't done a party with 12 tables as yet, but I have done a party recently. Most of my parties, we've been using 6 of the round tables that seat 10, or 8 of the round tables that seat 8. So I would say if I was to do an event, I would need maybe not exactly 8 of these, but I like to make at least 4 of the similar centerpieces. And if I have to mix and match, I mix and match. So I might go out and buy another one so I can have 4 of these peonies in storage. 4 of these, peony floral structure in storage, so that in case someone calls me for an event, I have them readily available. Now, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please like, comment, and share. It'll be appreciated. Also, hit the subscribe button so that you won't miss any of my future videos. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you again. Have a great day.